What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lions and Legacy podcast. My name is Mark Cassara, and I'm your host for this show. This is episode 1. I've had this channel for many, many years, but this podcast is brand new. So, this is something that I decided in my heart. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to be a little vulnerable right now. I've been procrastinating for a long time. Uh, Starting this podcast. I've started several podcasts in the past with different people, and they'll go and then stop and then go and then stop. And one of my goals is to build this podcast into my life and into your life on a regular basis. To set the stage a little bit, I'm a 43-year-old husband, father of 6, grandchild, 1, 3 cats, 1 dog. And my goal in life is I have several goals in life. My goals in life, shall I say, are to spread the love of Jesus first and foremost. Okay. So through my content, you'll hear it naturally come out. Never do I want to pressure anybody or shove it down your throat, but naturally it will come out. Take it or leave it. This podcast may or may not be for you. But we're not just going to focus on religion or spiritual things, although it will be intertwined in the message. We're going to talk about finances, wealthy strategies, ways to improve our life, our marriage, our fatherhood, our families. And you don't know what you're going to get each episode. It may be different. One episode, we may be talking about strategies to use to create fixed income later on during retirement. Next episode, we may talk about tax strategies and ways to mitigate taxes for your business. Following episode, we may talk about the week that I had with my kids and how I overcame obstacles. I may bring guests on this podcast over the weeks, months, or years. You don't know who these guests may be. Maybe sometimes you will know who they'll be. But the goal for this podcast is to just bring real, raw, everyday life to you. Who am I speaking to? I'm speaking to me. I'm speaking to the hardworking father that wants to provide for their family, that wants to give their wife and kids the best life that they can have while staying balanced, present, and in tune with their creator. What that's going to look like moving forward, anybody knows. But I'm looking forward to this, and I hope you'll join me for a continued journey. My commitment is not to stop this. I want to go all in with this podcast. I want to make this a part of my life, therefore making it a part of your life. So I hope that you'll go ahead and subscribe to this channel just from that little short intro so that we can continue to have this conversation. The chat is always open. There may be communities that may come out of this podcast, this channel. There may be extracurricular activities. There may be destinations that we can meet at as a community as well. There's a lot of stuff on my heart. There's a lot of stuff that God's been downloading to me over the years that I'm going to get out. I'm going to roll out little by little. And I'm excited for you to be a part of this. This is going to be a short video. This specific video, kind of want to talk about the Charlie Kirk incident. There's a lot of stuff going around the internet, whether you're for or against what happened to Charlie Kirk. I will tell you one thing. If you laugh and you snicker and you celebrate his passing, you might as well log off this podcast right now, because this podcast is not for you. But if you've mourned like you've lost somebody close to you, like many of our brothers and sisters have, this is the right podcast for you. I felt when he did pass, like I lost a brother. I've never met him personally, but I felt like I've lost a brother. I felt like I lost somebody close to me. It was a weird feeling of this closeness that was kind of just ripped away from me. And I'm not the only one that felt like that. I've talked to many men over the last couple of days. I've seen lots of videos, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever, and they feel the same way. And I heard one guy talk about this, one of my spiritual brothers. He said, it's not just a person that you lost or that you feel connected to. It was the spirit inside of him that you felt connected to. See, as children of God, we're all children of God, but those who are intentional about following out the will of God in their lives, living for Jesus, There's a spiritual connection that takes place. I'm connected to you. We may never meet each other, but we're connected in spirit. Okay. God calls us all his sons and daughters. Therefore, we're related. So I think there's a spiritual element where when Charlie passed, something was ripped out from us. And even deeper than that, I feel like it was an attack on the American family. It was an attack on the American way of life. It was an attack on morals, principles, and values. It was an attack on the sanctity of life, marriage. It was an attack on Christian and biblical principles. It wasn't just an attack on one guy, because the death of one guy is about to create a deluge, a water flow. It's gonna create a mighty rush of water that's gonna take place over this nation, and God is gonna be poured out over this nation like only a few times in history has ever happened. Now, there's many names that you can come up with in your mind and think about, well, this person, when he died, there was a revolution that took place. There was a revival when this guy died. There was campaigns, or there was petitions when this person died. There's a lot of people in history that when they passed away, it exploded, it ignited something within all of our different communities, not even just in America, all over the world. And so I think that what's going to happen here with Charlie Kirk, as he continues to live on through us and through his family and through his ministry, even though he didn't have ministry, his organization, his company was a ministry, because they were the hands and feet of God going out to the campuses and challenging the postmodernistic worldview across the country. And I think what he did was more impactful than pastors in a local church, more impactful than local statesmen that are just kind of boxed in within the four walls of their state. He was going all over the country. Matter of fact, he was traveling all over the world, and I think he was doing a big work of God. And I heard another guy say that, or maybe it was a meme that I saw, when Charlie entered heaven, he cried out to God and said, God, if you just would have given me a little bit more time, I would have done so much more for you. And God turns to him and says, Charlie, you have no idea how many lives that you just impacted. And so, we mourn somebody that passed away. We mourn for his family, for his kids. Nobody deserves that. But I'll tell you this right now. Through his death, there's going to be a wave across America and across the world that is going to take place, that is going to bring people back to the heart of Jesus. It's going to bring people back to this center place, to where they understand there's evils out there. There's things that they may have done wrong in life, but they need to come together. They need to come to church. They need to kind of bring their spirituality to a place where they give their life over to Jesus. I've seen so many stories across the internet. Because of this man's death, people are going to church now. And it's not all about church, but they're getting right with God. They're spending more time with their family. They're spending more time with their kids. They're more present. And there's a community that we're going to start here, and it's going to be birthed from this podcast. It's going to be, I believe, it's going to be a global community. It's called the House of Lions. Now, without giving too much detail right now, the House of Lions stands for men to reclaim their roar. We have an epidemic happening where men have lost their voice. They've lost their fight. They're just kind of casually coasting through life, not even leading their families. They're being led by the wife. They're being led by their circumstances. And so the House of Lions, part of this podcast, Lions and Legacy podcast, is going to help equip men so that they can regain their place, their rightful place in the family, their rightful place in the community. There's so much more that can be unpacked about this topic, but I've had so much hate on social media because of videos that I've posted on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. It boggles my mind to see people so vicious celebrating one man's death. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the stories I heard about Jesus, how the soldiers literally gambled for his garments. Soldiers mocked him. They made fun of him. And so much more happened to Jesus. Most people don't realize all the things that happened to Jesus. If you do deep study and a deep dive into the Bible and really research it, it was inhumane what they did to this man. But they gawked at him, they laughed, they mocked, they cheered. And this situation, not to make Charlie equal to Christ, but it's a representation. They're mocking, they're celebrating, they're dancing, they're shouting for joy. It's way too similar for me, and it's very disturbing. Part of it is because there's a lack of accountability and there's a lack of strong men in our communities. And so, with that being said, guys, this is about a 12-minute video. It's a good first video. It's a good intro to the things that are to come. I'm excited to unleash some awesome guys to be a part of this. We're going to have some guest speakers, and my brothers in Christ are going to come on. I have businessmen, 6, 7, 8-figure businessmen that are going to come on and throw down and give strategies, tips, tricks on how to run successful businesses. We have financial professionals, tax professionals, CPAs. I mean, I have so many connections that are going to come on this podcast. It's going to blow your mind. So if you're interested and you want value and you want to hear from one man's heart how he interprets the world and the things around him, I invite you on this journey with me. Again, my name is Mark Cassara. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, but most importantly, I'm a son. Thanks for joining the Lions and Legacy podcast, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless.